Assalamu alaikum, everybody. There's nobody here yet, but for any of you guys who are going to be watching this later, Assalamu alaikum. I'll wait for somebody just so I can check that my sound is working. It'd be very awkward if nobody rocks up. Yeah, as soon as someone arrives, inshallah, we'll just find out whether the sound is working. I am mic'd up, but that doesn't always mean that the sound is working. So, Assalamu alaikum, anyone who's watching, just give me a thumbs up, just to let me know. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Just give me a thumbs up to let me know that the sound is working. Yeah, if the sound's working okay, drop me a thumbs up, and we'll get into it, inshallah. Cool. Alright, thank you guys. Okay, good. So, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is your Arabic teacher, Sam, and very well welcome back to another live stream here on the Arabic Sound channel. So, yeah, I can do the intro impromptu. Doesn't take multiple takes to do an intro anymore. How many times have I said that, do you reckon, to the camera? Cool. So what we do on these Sundays is basically on Sunday, for those of you who don't know, I have a newsletter that goes out to anybody who signs up for it, called the Arabist's Digest, and I just send out all of my any kind of useful thoughts and feelings that I have about learning Arabic and how to improve your studies and my teaching. And yeah, I just write a little article and post it out to the students. There's no sales, there's no links, there's no pitches, there's nothing like that. It's literally just what can I give you. None of them have been lessons yet. They're all sort of about approach and mindset and sort of philosophy around learning Arabic. Yeah, last week, for those of you who missed it, last week the third Arabist's Digest was about learning vocab. That's such a common question. You know, it'd be good for you guys, if you've ever had questions about learning vocab, it'd be good for you guys to go back and watch that. But this is the fourth Arabist's Digest. If any of you out there don't have a clue what it is and you'd like to get in on it, then you can go over to my website. You won't need to scroll down very far to find a little place where you can sign up. You just put your email address in, and I'll send the newsletter to you every week. It's every Sunday morning. Yeah. And the idea of it is that I envisage it's the way that Arabic students spend their Sunday mornings, is reading the Arabist's Digest. So what is the topic of this week's digest? So the topic of it is the fact that Ramadan is just under 100 days away. The month of Ramadan is just under 100 days away. And, subhanAllah, that's... I know every year we say, subhanAllah, it came around so quickly, but honestly, I guarantee that there are people, maybe even watching this now on this live stream now, who still haven't made up for fasts that they missed. Do you know what I mean, during Ramadan? But it's come around so quickly, subhanAllah. And I think this every year as an Arabic teacher. Obviously, I know that so many people have gone to Taraweeh and not understood a word of their salah. Year after year after year after year, right? And now with us being 100 days out from Ramadan, it is important for us to do things quickly. It's important for us to learn what we can quickly. And I make a point in the newsletter of saying that I'm not really an Arabic teacher who says things like learn Arabic in 10 days or learn Arabic in become fluent in Arabic in a year and stuff. I don't really make statements like that. They're useful for people who are trying to sell stuff, do you know what I mean? They're useful like that, but I don't really do that. I take the approach of that you just be real with students. I just take that approach. I'm in it for the long game, so integrity is important for me, just to say things that are real. But when it's when we're 100 days away, it's important to be quick, right? It's important to learn quickly, and at the end of the day, our lives are just a number of days. Do you know what I mean? We can't do everything. We can't do everything at a slow pace, just in our own time. There does come to a certain point where we need to say, look, you need to get a move on with learning Arabic. Do you know what I mean? When we've passed 20 Ramadans in our life, we've perhaps, in our lives, we've stood for 50 hours, of our lives in Taraweeh and not understood a word of the Quran. Do you know what I mean? There's something wrong with that. So time's running out for us. Okay, and we understand that it's of absolute importance for the Muslims of us that we understand the Quran. A little point that I didn't mention in the digests, but a little bonus for you guys who are watching the video, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, He describes the Quran as hablillah. He says to the Muslims, wa'atasimu bihablillahi jami'an wa la tafarraqu. He says and hold tight to the rope of Allah together, and don't become divided. And the rope of Allah here is talking about the Quran, right? If you don't know Arabic, you're not even the one holding the rope of Allah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're holding onto the translator's body. Do you know what I mean? It's like the translator knows Arabic, the person who's done a translation of the Quran that you're reading, they're holding onto the rope of Allah, but you're like holding onto his shirt. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't even have a grasp onto the hablillah. Do you know what I mean? If you don't know Arabic, and so learning the Arabic language is obviously of utmost importance, and we know that and we understand that. So with these constraints, right, like we know that we need to learn Arabic for the month of Ramadan, and we know we have 100 days. That makes things much easier. Do you know what I mean? The hardest thing for me as like a curriculum writer and as a teacher is thinking like, well, students out there, they want to learn everything and believe that we have an unlimited amount of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why it's hard. It makes it much easier when we know we have exactly 100 days and we need to learn Arabic for the Quran. We can really zone in. Do you know what I mean? When we do that, when we narrow the objective, we can really achieve some quite interesting stuff. I think I demonstrated that well in my Arabic in 6 steps program. For those of you who don't know, I have a free course. Obviously my like premium program is Arabic in 60 steps. I say premium, it's still really cheap, but like it's a thing that I sell. And then there's a free course that I do, just to give people a taster. Do you know what I mean? Like if people aren't really sure if they want to sign up, then I give people like a taster. And the idea of the 6 steps course is to read the first page of Surah Yusuf. The first page of the story of the Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. It's not from the Quran, but it's a passage from the stories of the prophets. And that's the objective of the 6-step course, right? And because we have that objective, it's obvious that 1 minute. I'll finish this point inshallah, and then I'll come with some questions. So because that's the clear objective, reading that first part of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, because that's the clear objective, I can just focus on the stuff that we need to achieve that objective. So like one of the quickest ways to achieve your objectives in learning anything, actually, there's nothing quite like just getting rid of something. Do you know what I mean? Like even in anything, honestly, like if your main objective is to, I don't know, win the gold medal at the Olympics for shot put, yeah. There's nothing better for your training than just to get rid of the javelin. Do you know what I mean? If you're training the javelin as well, and you're training the 100 meters, and you're training all this other stuff, like, there's nothing quite like just getting rid of that stuff and just focusing on the thing you actually want to achieve. And we have an awesome opportunity for that. So the first thing that I mentioned is that what you need to do coming in these last 100 days leading up to Ramadan is prioritize. Like, you just prioritize the stuff that you need. Now you need to be learning vocab for understanding the Quran. That's what you need to be learning now. Right? You need to be understanding the words that are going to be said out of the Imam's face, and that are going to be going into your ears throughout Salat al-Tarawih for the whole of Ramadan, right? At the moment, you can put Lehge Masriya on the table. For now, you can put, whatever else, what other kinds of, you can put your study of Arabic calligraphy on the table at the moment. Learning all of it's an amazing objective. Do you know what I mean? Like, I encourage all Arabic students to want to learn everything, but not when we've got 100 days until Ramadan. Do you know what I mean? If you're a complete beginner now's not the time to be taking up Lehge Masriya. Do you know what I mean? It's not the time to be studying Egyptian dialect or practicing your calligraphy and stuff. Like, there's a very specific set of things that you should be doing now. So the first thing that I mentioned, the first advice for students, is to prioritize. The next thing is to have a routine. In fact, the way that I word it in the digest is that routine and consistency are the superpowers of the children of Adam. Like, for mankind, if we want to achieve anything, whether it's like doing sports training, or whether we want to lose weight, or whether we want to get good at anything, like if you were to implement in your life a routine, a consistency of having like, if you were to implement a routine, then number one, you would accumulate more hours over the space of 100 days, and you're more likely to continue it forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, having a routine is just so important. It made me think a little bit about, a little while ago, I'm quite into martial arts. I'm quite into, especially like grappling martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, wrestling, Russian Sambo and stuff like that. And I was listening to a podcast a while ago where they were talking about why Russian wrestlers tend to be better than American wrestlers. Why like a lot of the world champions happen to be Russian wrestlers. And the Russians tend to just train every single day. They have a routine of training every single day. But in America, they have a culture of training like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and having breaks, but going all in. Do you know what I mean? Like, with Arabic, I'd encourage a similar approach. learn every single day, but don't go all out. You don't need to burn yourself out. You know, the important thing is the routine, because number one, like, by the time it comes to the Olympics, let's say two people are 25-year-old American, 25-year-old Russian. I'm going to answer your questions, inshallah, don't worry. Just when I look at questions too much, I lose my own train of thought. So Sister Ayan, I believe that's what your name was. Sister, if you're a Somali, could be a brother if you're from Pakistan. So sorry about that. I'm not sure if you're a brother or a sister yet. But I've lost my train of thought, but I will answer your questions. Okay, Ayan, Jazakallah khair. Yeah, sorry. For Somalis, Ayan is always a sister. Sisters are always if it's Ayan, it's always a sister for Somalis. But when I was a primary school teacher, I had two boys in my class who were both called Ayan, both Pakistanis. Anyways, so the most important thing with Arabic is to have consistency, right? Is to have a routine and to have consistency rather than going all in. You know. So yeah. Next thing. The third thing, okay, so the first point that I was making is that in these last 100 days coming up to Ramadan, we need to prioritize number one. There's nothing quite like just getting rid of the things that don't focus on your goal, okay? Prioritize is the first thing. Have a routine, okay? I talked about Russian wrestling, okay? I talked about Russian wrestlers, you know, and how that makes wrestlers who come from Russia so much stronger. And the last one is longevity, okay? So, there's no point in having a routine for like 3 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's why, like, we're about at the time of the year, I think, when most people have given up on their New Year's resolutions. It's usually about 3 weeks in, isn't it? You know, like, this is kind of a similar point to routine, really. Like, a routine is something that will give you longevity in your studies, right? But really, what I'm talking about with this third point specifically is about not burning yourself out. It's about doing an amount that's actually realistic. You know, some people, man, like one of the biggest issues, I think, one of the biggest challenges that I encounter dealing with students and trying to help people learn Arabic is people obviously as beginners, often people just don't have realistic goals on how much Arabic they should be learning in what amount of time and from what commitment. Do you know what I mean? So you need to pace yourself to make sure that it's long term, because really, like, the fact is you actually don't get to the end of Arabic. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get to a point where you're sort of independent. I call it, I talk about it as being independent, but really you get to a point where you're sort of up on your own feet, and it's not a case of learning more, it's a case of practicing more. You get to that stage, but it doesn't end. Do you know what I mean? Like, so having these routines and stuff, having this longevity is something that the Arabic student really needs. So what are we going to do about that? Okay, so the next thing that I come on to in the digest is, what we're going to do about that. We've got these kind of three things, these three sort of principles that I think the students should implement on their way in these last sort of 3 months, these last 100 days leading up to Ramadan. As I mentioned, I'll do them again. Prioritizing the stuff you do need to learn, getting rid of the stuff that you don't. Having a routine, so that something is definitely consistent, but making sure that in that routine you're realistic about the amount you're doing every single day, right? Those are the three kind of things I implemented, that I talked about implementing. So, okay, so what are we going to do about that? This is the next question we need to ask. Okay, what are we going to do about that? And what I would like to suggest, and what I've suggested in here, and I've had a lot of people tell me they're interested in it, and I'd like to know if you guys are interested in it, is if we were to do a word a day, if we were to do one like Quranic Arabic word a day from now up until Ramadan, we could probably learn about 50% of the vocab in the Quran. And even though it's a huge commitment from me to do a video, to create, produce, publish a video every single day, I'm willing to say, inshallah, I'll do my very, very best to do that if it's something that a lot of you guys are keen on. You know, first and foremost, because I just think it would just be an amazingly approachable way for the Muslims to be able to gain so much more from the Taraweeh. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to stand before Allah on the Day of Judgment and have like thousands of these Muslims who watch these videos saying like, we understood our Taraweeh because of those videos. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if we were to do a word a day, 5-minute video every single day, that's all it is. I'll upload it to the podcast as well, so those of you who just want to listen, and it will all be audio. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll just be talking to the camera. I'll be doing these sort of talking head videos that I normally do, but there won't be like any animations. Won't be doing any screencasting or anything like that. It will all just be oral, because that's the way that we listen in Tarawih. Like that's very deliberate. Like I'll deliberately be doing it in where I'm just talking you through each of these words, and we'll just do a word a day, you know, from literally from tomorrow all the way up until Ramadan. So I want to hear from you guys, inshallah. You know, you can either stick it in the comments or DM me on Instagram, email me, arabicwithsam@gmail.com, Facebook message me. I've recently signed up for Twitch, by the way. I'd like to know if any of you guys are on Twitch. Yeah. I don't really know how it works. I just know that I like EA Sports, and it'd be a cool way to be an Arabic teacher but be playing FIFA with people. It'll be quite it'll make my stuff quite approachable for people. So yeah, so that's what I've got in mind, right? So I'd like us to do a video a day. I obviously have my own publishing schedule, which I'll continue with. You know, we obviously always do the podcast on Mondays. We do Tuesday talk-throughs, Wednesday walkthroughs. We do grammar time every Thursday. I do a live Q&A somewhere throughout the week. This week will be on Wednesday at 4 p.m. I do a live Q&A, as I said, and then I like to do a surprise video somewhere as well. I'll be doing that as well. Like, that won't be replaced by this. Yeah, but I think it would just be a really good thing for us to do for every single day, for you guys to know that you've got one more video to do. There's just 5 minutes. Every single day will be under 5 minutes. And, you know, in case it is of interest to enough people, I've started planning the first 15 of them, the first 15 of those videos. And honestly, it is like honestly, if I were to give you guys a sneak peek into how much of how much of the Quran you can come to learn just for learning a few words, it's incredible. The brother just asked me about answering a question of his because he has to go. Please tell me again. I'm actually going to look through the comments right now. I'm going to look through the comments right now. But just in case I don't find it, please just type it to me again, inshallah. Okay, about GCSE course. Oh man, the GCSE. Yeah, any advice for doing the GCSE? My biggest advice is don't do it. But look, bro, my advice for the GCSE, this is my biggest advice for the Arabic GCSE for anybody in the world, is learn Arabic. Learn Arabic, right? I know, bro. I know you can't stop it, man. Like, I know at some places you just have to do it. Like, thing is that the curriculum is just, it's quite new and it's going to be clunky for a couple of years. Like, I was one of the examiners on the edXL. Are you doing edXL, by the way? I was one of the examiners for edXL a couple of years ago, and it was horrible. And honestly, like, my inbox is full of people wanting help with the GCSE. It's full of it. Why has that fallen to me? I have no affiliation with the exam boards. I have no affiliation whatsoever. Whenever I've helped out with it, I've created resources for it for free. I've supported the students through it. Like, but the exam boards have never ever reached out to me or supported me for it. I've never got any thanks for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, why aren't the exam boards helping you more? What, like, why isn't there actually support out there for the Arabic GCSE students? Like, when I was doing the oral exams down in Cornwall, when I was living in Cornwall, like, honestly, the exam boards didn't care. Like, so yeah, for some reason it's fallen to me to help people with the Arabic GCSE, even though I have no affiliation to it whatsoever. I have my own program. Why am I teaching a program that, in my opinion, is worse than mine? When, you know, yeah, sorry, there was something about your teacher wasting your time for 3 years. Hopefully I wasn't your teacher. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. My advice, man, is look, like, the objective for the Arabic student is not to pass the Arabic GCSE. That should not be the goal. It really upsets me when people email me and they're like, can you help me with GCSE Arabic? I'm like, no, I don't teach GCSE Arabic. I teach Arabic. If you're good at Arabic, the GCSE will be a breeze for you anyway. And if it's not, there's a problem with the exam. Focus on learning Arabic, okay? Like, get your Arabic down. You know, get the Arabic down, and then you just do the exam. Do you know what I mean? You know, yeah. I mean, I don't know how easy it is this year, man. how can I learn Arabic in 1 year? I'll tell you what you do. Go onto Amazon, buy. Oh, you're talking about like generally Arabic being easy generally, not specifically the GCSE. I would say go onto Amazon, inshallah, brother Ayan again. Go onto Amazon, buy the newest GCSE companion book, and just get learning the vocab. Download there's probably past papers on the Edexcel website as well. There usually are. Download those and just get good at answering the exams. The GCSE is just an exam. It's not actually a skill set. It's not a skill in any way. Knowing GCSE Arabic, do you know what I mean? Like if you're ever going for a job or applying to uni or whatever, it's so much more valuable that you can actually use and implement Arabic than that you have a number next to a GCSE Arabic. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty arbitrary, really. My absolute best advice is, look, I am, man. Are you a student on the 60 Steps program? Because the 60 Steps program will sort you out for pretty much all the grammar that you'll need. It's not a GCSE program, but it might be of interest to you, inshallah. Go to my website and check it out, man. Go to my website, arabicwithsam.com, and then just put /60, because that's yeah, it might work well for you, inshallah. Because it will equip you with all the grammar, and then will it help me learn general Arabic? If you mean by general Arabic like standard Arabic, yes, absolutely. It's not like a Quranic Arabic program. It's a modern standard Arabic program, and it will help you in your listening, your reading, your writing, and your speaking. It's across all the skills as well. So, yeah, yeah. But it's the 60 steps is okay, see, inshallah, go over and look at it, and if you have any questions, just message me. Bro, it's not a hard sell, man. Like if it's right for you, I'll encourage you to do it. But if it's not, then and even if it's not, then maybe I can recommend other stuff for you, inshallah. It's more about just finding what's right for you. But it just sounds like from the stuff that you're saying, in the time frame that you have and the sort of Arabic that you need, that it would be a good program for you. Go over and check it out, inshallah. Arabicwithsam.com is my general website. But if you just put /60, you'll get to the page with all the information about the 60 Steps program. Go over and check it out, inshallah. Yeah, and hopefully I can help. Yeah, and at the bottom of that page as well, excuse me, there's a little space for you to write a message to me as well. So if you have any questions, just get in touch with me, inshallah. Yeah, it'd be cool to have you on board. Are you based in the UK, by the way? I assume you are if you're doing the GCSE, unless you're doing the IE GCSE or something. Yeah, and if you're based in the UK and you join, I'll put your first workbook in the post tomorrow. I've got a pile of the workbooks next to me, so I'll get yours in the post to you tomorrow morning because I'm in the office tomorrow morning. Yeah. Someone just asked where am I from. I am from deepest, darkest Cornwall. Yeah, no, I was born in Northampton, where I live now. But really what you're asking is, are you an Arab? No, I'm not. No, I am white British. Wa alaikum salam. Wondering about how sort of grammar extensive or intensive my program is. So the wa alaikum salam from Bosnia, mashallah. So the 60 steps is 60 grammar concepts, right? So it is the spine of the program is grammar, but the spine of Arabic is grammar. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why. But it's not just all theoretical. Do you know what I mean? Like the students who sign up, if they live in the UK, I post them workbooks for free, and they practice their reading and their writing and their translation skills as well throughout those workbooks. And then I've also recently created this other resource that's free in it as well, called the Skill Builder, and it's kind of a spoken equivalent of that. So there's like videos in Arabic. So it might be something from an Arabic cartoon, it might be from an Arabic news report, it might be from an Arabic interview, it might be from a lecture, it might be from anything, right? And and the lesson page has like the whole vocab list, the lesson in the video, and then the audio only of the video, and then a transcript, and there's some commentary on the transcript, and then there's some sentences using that same vocab, but how you could use that vocab in your own conversations and stuff as well. So, and then with each of those skill builder lessons, I'll tell you which one of the steps it goes well with. Because sometimes you get a video. Sometimes I get a video that I write the transcript for and stuff, and I start picking it apart, and I think, man, this goes so well with step 4. Man, this goes so well with step 8. There's so many examples of this grammar in this text or something. There was a comment that I just missed. Yes, you would be able to understand such texts as hadith literature once you complete the program. Yes, absolutely. The last book, because there's 4 books on the program, is 60 steps. Yeah, it's 60 steps, and it's 4 books of 15 steps, right? And the 4th book is completely in Arabic. So by the time students get to that, it's all in Arabic with no harakat either. So students are pretty strong by that point, and really, even though it's called the 60 Steps program, it's only 52 of them are actually grammar concepts. The last 8 lessons are all just different kinds of literature. So there's a whole lesson on like travel writings from the Arab world. So we talk about Ibn Battuta, Rihlat Ibn Jubayr, and other travel writings. There's one on like modern novels. So we do a little bit from a Palestinian novel called A'id ila Haifa. So basically there's loads of other kinds of literature and text types that we go into in the end of the 60 Steps program. So yes, absolutely, students should be able to access this sort of stuff. Someone just said they're from Czech Republic and they enjoy the channel. Thank you very much. That means the world to me. That people from from all over the place. None other than our friends in Central Europe are enjoying the channel. That's awesome. Yeah, there's someone from Bosnia a second ago. You don't know how many times I go to the masjid and people from like Albania and Bosnia and Turkey think that I'm from their country. I don't think I look particularly Albanian or Turkish or Bosnian, but I don't know. I suppose if they just see a white person in the mosque, they just kind of assume what he must be. Do you know what I mean? It was the same when I was in Egypt. People would just see a white person, they'd be like, Turkish. Not Turkish. Bismillah. Although, Turkish food might be my favourite cuisine. I'm just a big fan of lamb. I just love a good bit of lamb. I look Scottish. I don't know how a Scottish person looks different to a Cornish person or an English person. Don't know. I don't have a ginger beard though. Scottish people have ginger beards normally. That's famously they do anyway. My granddad was born in Scotland. I had the bagpipes at his funeral. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else in the digest that I missed out on. No, there's not. No, there's not. It was just what you guys think about us putting together a series, doing a video every single day on a new word every day, all the way up to Ramadan. So we'd learn the 100 most common words in the Quran. Let me give you an example of a couple because I'll blow your mind, like how common they are. So in the Quran, there's about 77,000 words, I believe, about 77,000 words, and there's one word, the verb qala yaqulu, meaning to say. Qala yaqilu can mean to sort of have a sleep, have a siesta in the afternoon. I don't know if that meaning is included in it, but it's used 1,700 times. One word. Do you know what I mean? That's like 1%. That's like one in every 100 words in the Quran. More than 1 in every 100 words in the Quran is the word qala. Do you know what I mean? Like if we were just to unpick it, understand its different forms and stuff, you'd have 1% of the Quran in 5 minutes. The next verb, okay, the verb kana, is used like 1,400 times in the Quran. Do you know what? Together you've got like 3,000 uses in the Quran just by learning these 2 words and understanding them properly. Yeah. The next one on the list, the word Rabb. Do you know what I mean? Most people know it anyway. It's nearly 1,000 times that word alone is used in the Quran. Do you know what I mean? Like so quickly. Like I worked it out because I planned the first 15 of these lessons. And you learn like 15% of the Quran from these 15 lessons. It's crazy. Like 15% of the vocabulary in the Quran in these 15 lessons. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like an hour and a half, and like an hour and a half of your time spread over like 2 weeks, you'd learn like serious amount of what you'd need in your Taraweeh to understand the recitation of the Quran. Like, it seems like a no-brainer to me. You know, there's a very interesting there. The two sources that I'm using for it. I don't know how authentic either of them are, right? Like I don't know. I don't really know how, because they contradict each other. The two sources that I'm using for the most used words in the Quran. One of them is a study which I've heard about from a lot of independent sources, called like the 80-20. It's like 80% of the Quranic words are all in this document. Yeah, and it's just like a few vocab lists, and it's like 80% of the vocab in the Quran. So there's that, and there's another one on Quizlet. There's just like a vocab list of like the most common words in the Quran, but they contradict each other. So like I don't know how much of their due diligence that the two researchers have done. But anyway, like they're close though. Anyway, so I mean, look, it's not. I'm not really inclined at this point with the time constraints to myself sit and sift through the Quran and say, oh, they don't exactly use qala 1,618 times. It's actually 1,597. Do you know what I mean? That's not really that important to us. Like the important thing to us is that we're equipping ourselves with a serious amount of vocab to enhance our understanding of our salah throughout the month of Ramadan. That's the important thing, and we will certainly achieve that, inshallah. But yeah, so those are the two sources that I'm using. And you know, without a doubt, the verb qala is by far the most used word in the Quran. There are only two words in the Quran that are used more than 1,000 times, and they are qala and kana, two hollow verbs. Step 10, by the way, for those of you on the Arabic in 60 Steps program, you'll learn how to use both of those in lesson 10. Yeah, we call them hollow verbs. In the actual classical term is ejwaf. Yeah, if the verb is ejwaf, it means it has a elif in the middle, or a weak letter in the middle, or a vowel in the middle. We call them hollow verbs in sort of a Western tradition. Are there any other questions, by the way? There were some questions in the beginning, and I just ignored you because I was in the middle of talking through something. But perhaps I'll scroll back, inshallah. No, there's no difference between the yearly and monthly plan, other than just a massive saving. Like, yeah, you'd save like £35, I think, if you go for the yearly option. Yeah, but there's nothing other than that. It's just the pricing. Yeah, for those of you who just so I can save the rest of you some time, so rather than going checking it, it's £11 a month, or £97 for the whole year. So I think it would be 132, wouldn't it, over the whole year? It'd work out. So 97 is £35 cheaper. Yeah, to do the year. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Another cool thing, by the way, is I have mentioned before that I'm thinking of relaunching the program in sort of the run up to Ramadan. It may be March or something, and there's going to be some cool stuff, and all the people who join now will just get it for free. You know, I'm just going to give all of you guys a coupon. All of you guys who join now or have joined already. Yeah, I'll just give all of you guys a coupon code, and you'll just get free access to the new course. Learning Arabic quickly, dude. It's hard without knowing you, man. Like what the best advice to give you is. Yeah, I'm not sure specifically about sort of advice to give you about learning Arabic quickly. Have a vocab learning routine, I suppose, is a big one. Certain amount of words a day. Go back and watch last week's. Go back and watch last week's Arabist Digest video from last Sunday, because I talk about learning vocab in that video. You only need, it's probably like an hour-long video, because I do this Q&A afterwards, this sort of chat/Q&A afterwards. But just watch the first like 20 minutes. Yeah, and I talk a lot about learning vocab. So yeah, implement some of those strategies that I talked about. There were some other questions, so let's get back to it. What else have we got? Right. Okay. So there's a question. I'm not going to ignore you. Yeah, there is a question about sort of slavery in the Quran and stuff like this, but it's just not a topic for this video, really. Look, we as the believers wholeheartedly believe in every single thing that is in the Quran, as long as it is implemented with a correct understanding. As a rule, no, I do not believe that that what is going on to Yazidi people is good. Nor, and I think it's assumption as well that you're sort of saying the reason why it's happening is from that verse as well. But it's not really a topic for this video anyway. Thank you for your question. It's not that the question is a bad question. It's just that this isn't the place for me to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm progressing with my hifz. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen me on the Recite show, by the way. On Islam channel, I've started hosting the well, I've done the last 2 Fridays. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing every Friday, but yeah. But I don't know if you've seen me on that show. Yeah, it's quite good fun actually. Hosting the Recite show. I get to sit next to the sheikh for an hour. It's quite nice. Take the calls and stuff. I'm terrible at hearing people's names. You know what I mean? Like when over the phone line, you get someone call in, sort of crackly phone line. They say my name is, and if it's an unusual name, do you know what I mean? I'm fine if it's an Ahmed or a Fatima or something, but if you get an unusual name, then it's hard. Also, live TV is way different to YouTube. Like with YouTube and with other socials, I just stick the camera on and I just have a cup of tea and just have a chat with you guys. But yeah, but live TV, you've got this little ear. You've obviously got like a little microphone. You've got an earpiece in your ear, and the producer's talking to you whilst you're presenting, and it's so distracting. You know, they're telling you, like, you've got 30 seconds until the break. You need to wrap it up. You need to get the sheikh to finish off whatever he's saying. So sort of off camera, I'm saying to him like, stop talking off camera to try to get him to, so that I can do a little outro at the end and say, you know, come back, blah blah blah. So it's hard. I know all these TV presenters make it look really easy, and like news reporters and stuff make it look really easy, but it's not easy. Okay, how we doing, guys? Yeah, so this week, inshallah, as usual, all the content as usual. Podcast will be out tomorrow. Yeah, podcast will be out tomorrow. Talk through course on Tuesday, Wednesday walkthrough, grammar time on Thursday. I'm probably going to record a lot of them tomorrow. Yeah. But we will do a live Q&A on Wednesday, by the way. But it'll be on Instagram. For those of you who aren't following me on Instagram, please do. Please go over to Instagram and follow me over there. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed on this channel yet, go and subscribe as well, please. Because I would really love, yeah, I'd really love for to hit 5,000 subscribers, inshallah, by the end of January. That'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. If we'd hit 5,000 subscribers, I'd love that over here. Because we're close. I think we're only about 50 away. And no, I don't have Twitter. I never bothered with it. Yeah, I never bothered with it, really, with Twitter. Yeah, but I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I don't know if you were there, I've created an account on Twitch as well. It's a sort of a live streaming platform. Most people use it for gaming, but it's not only for that. Yeah. Yeah. The reason why actually is because in a podcast I was listening to the other day, they were talking about how on Twitch the demographic is like mostly male between that sort of ages like 18 and 35 or something. And I thought like that's pretty much my demographic for Arabic students. You know, especially people who you know, especially sort of yeah, especially people who become like private one-to-one students with me. Obviously, it's mostly brothers who I teach, but you're very welcome. Yeah, but yeah, Twitch looks cool though. I'm not allowed a PlayStation at home. My wife won't let me have one here. But when I was living in Cornwall, I lived like next door to my brother, and he's got a PlayStation, and I go around and play FIFA and stuff. And if I can sort of tell my wife it's work, and I'm kind of meeting other people who might want to learn Arabic and stuff through Twitch, then maybe she'll let me have a PlayStation, and I can have a PlayStation in the living room, and that'd be cool if I could do that. Yeah, but it's the sports ones that I like. FIFA. I'm not, but I could easily get into the UFC game as well. I could very easily get into that. I know that's an EA Sports game too. I've seen that. The others are American ones, aren't they? Like Madden, I think is the American football one or something. There's an NFL one as well, basketball one. Oh yeah, sorry, you did ask a question earlier, didn't you? About yeah. So sorry, this brother or sister. I'm not sure by your name. Sorry if it's a brother or sister. This sibling of ours. So they're learning from Medina books 1 and 2 and Al-Arabiyya Bayna Yadayk, and struggling with the grammar. Any advice? So watch my channel on Thursdays on Grammar Time, because I go through really common grammar mistakes on the Grammar Time show that we do on this channel every Thursday. I just find like 5 really common grammar mistakes, and we unpick them. We go through them one at a time. So by doing that, students will iron out a lot of the really common, Arabic grammar mistakes that they make. So that's the first advice I would say. Generally for grammar, you've just got to see it a lot of times, really. Like, you've just got to see it a lot. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of the time students, and it was definitely true for me, try to kind of avoid actually doing the hard bit. Like, the hard bit is actually reading Arabic texts, and I would always try to find shortcuts. I'd be like, I hate reading. I'm gonna do more sort of clever stuff. I'm gonna do a mind map or something like that. Whereas like at the end of the day, like just in the amount of vocab and grammar you can learn in just the most simple text. Do you know what I mean? Like if you followed any of my Wednesday walkthroughs, like the amount that we can just extract from one text. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's do it now. Let's just look at a. This I use a text from this book in my Arabic in 60 Steps program. This is a novel by a Palestinian author called Ghassan Kanafani. So yeah, on the blurb, so we have قصة رائعة. So there, straight away, lesson 1, by the way, in Arabic in 60 Steps program, just got a normal phrase, okay? قصة رائعة. Both of them are nakira, both indefinite, both of them marfu', which is why it's قصة رائعة, and both of them are mu'annath as well, which is why it's feminine. جدا, don't really need to say anything about that. عن معاناتي, okay, so we've got عن, which is a harf jar, معاناتي. Yeah, the mu'anat means suffering. So it's about mu'anati, and it has to be, this is, مجرور وعلامة جره الكسرة المقدرة على آخره. So just from like 5 or 6 words, we can draw out so much. And the next word is الشعب الفلسطيني as well. So that's a mudaf and mudaf ilayh type deal as well. The amount that we can the amount of grammar that we actually can spot just in a sentence. Do you know what I mean? If you're to sit down and practice that, not in the same sort of depth that an Arabic teacher can, obviously, but just in as much that you can, you get so much out of it. Yeah, you get so much out of it. So you just need to see it in more contexts, really. It's the most important thing, I think. Our brother Muhammad, the name that he uses is ilm is the key, though, but I know that his name is Muhammad. One of the first ever students, actually, might have been the first ever student actually in the Arabic in 60 Steps program. So I'll never forget about you, bro. That you were the first person to actually believe that this bumbling fool on YouTube was trustworthy. So I'm hugely grateful for that. That's that you came on board. Oh, mashallah, yeah, that's awesome. If you're signing up for the program, inshallah, I'll be poised, ready to send you your welcome email. Every single person who signs up to the program, I don't have an automatic email that goes out. Yeah, I sit here, and when someone signs up, I write them a personal email from me, sitting here, and I'm saying, this is my email address. I'm here for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, I'll be poised, ready to send you a welcome email. It might be tomorrow morning because it's late now here in the UK. Well, late for me anyway. What time even is it? 9:30. It's not really late, but I'll want to go to bed soon. So it might be tomorrow, inshallah. I shouldn't really even be doing this live. I had to sort of sneak upstairs. My wife and my son are downstairs, because I've got to be a bit strict on myself sometimes to say, look, you got to give yourself you got to give yourself some rules. I think, like, because this, like, the Arabic with Sam sort of project is entirely just it's like my baby. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's hard for me to ever let go of it and just to switch off. You know, because I want it to be my life, really. Like, I want to be doing this for the rest of my life, and I want it to work so bad. So, but you need to, like, you need to you need to enforce it upon yourself that when you're with your wife and your kids and stuff, you've got to be present with them. You know, you've got to leave whatever you're doing sometimes and stuff. But yeah, I've come up here to do this. I'm not going to be here for any more than an hour, so we've got about another 15 minutes, inshallah. If there's anything else that comes in. The brother Muhammad just complimented my program as well, which that means the world to me. I know that, like, yeah, it is the best. It is the best thing I can give to people. Like, honestly, yeah, like, I hate it when people are like really salesy, and to be honest, I'm quite shy about just saying to people, you should buy my program, because it's just too it's too cliche, isn't it? People come out with an online course and they want to sell it to people, but like, there are some people in the comments and stuff, and I'm like, bro, my course is your solution. Like, but I don't know. I'd rather show it to you, inshallah. I'd rather show it to you through my teaching style and my free videos, and by you doing the free course as well, the 6-step course and stuff as well. So I'd rather show it to you rather than tell you. But when other people are actually on the program, especially like the brother Muhammad, to say that it's decent, even though this is the first year we've ever ran it. Do you know what I mean? Like, every single year, I'm just gonna be ironing out stuff, because, you know, obviously I'm really ambitious for it. Like I want tens of thousands of students to pass through this curriculum throughout my life, inshallah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so every single year I'm just gonna be improving it. I've got some, you know, some quite nice updates and improvements to make to it this year, inshallah. You know, like every year, and inshallah we'll try to plan that so there's like a relaunch before every Ramadan. We'll try to plan it like that. Yeah, and then just every year, anything that comes in, any mistakes that are in it, any typos, anything like that, like, because you got to remember as well, like, some of the things that I'm doing on this channel, like, a lot of the time people have whole teams for. Do you know what I mean? Like I do all the planning, all of the producing, all of the editing, all of the design, all of the web design, all of the customer support, all of the accounting. I'm everything. I'm the cleaner. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to do everything, and so obviously things slip under the radar for me. Obviously, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there have been typos and stuff before. Do you know what I mean? But that, having said that, even though I was paying £3,000 a year for my degree, there were loads of typos in our workbooks. You know what I mean? There's loads of things like that. So I can't beat myself up too much about that. But the important thing is we keep on improving, inshallah, with the help and the feedback of my amazing students who take part in it, and through me, you know, inshallah, staying humble and being happy to receive feedback and stuff. Then inshallah, the course will only get better and better. Inshallah. What else have we got, guys? Thank you, all 11 of you who joined me this evening. May Allah bless you guys. May Allah reward you guys. May Allah make all of us people who reach the month of Ramadan very interesting question that just came up about, okay, so in Surah Al-Baqarah, obviously we have Alif Lam Mim, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. It is ذلك الكتاب, but the translation is this book. This is the book in which there is no doubt. ذلك الكتاب. That's not really a language point. It's sort of a tafsir point. So you know, I don't really know the answer, but it is an important. It is. I'm proud of you that you'd even spot that. I don't know if I don't know. There are some things that we could speculate or we could ponder over, perhaps. But the real answer is look to the Mufassirin. yeah, don't know, but as a speculation perhaps. As it's so early in the Quran is sort of further away from you. It's not with you yet. Do you know what I mean? You're right. You're on the first page of the Quran, right? So you would perhaps refer to the Quran as dhalika, as that, as it's something that's actually not this. You don't have it yet. Yeah, but it is very interesting though. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. But the grammar of that ayah though, ذلك الكتاب, yeah, it does need to be kitabu. Yeah, that is that is the book. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب. This is لا النافية للجنس, which is why it's لا ريب. Just when we say لا إله, if we're saying there is nothing worthy of worship, لا إله, just like we're saying there is no doubt, لا ريب. We use this لا النافية للجنس, which is like the la of absolute negating. When we learn the real meaning of what La ilaha illallah means, we learn that it means La ma'buda, that there is nothing worthy of worship. La ma'buda bihaqqin, that there is nothing worthy of worship in truth illallah, except Allah. But yeah, that's La rayba, and then the fihi is, you don't pronounce it like fihi, you pronounce it La rayba fihi. But yeah, but it's a normal fihi, it's a harf jar. And then there's the pronoun, the personal pronoun on the end of it. It's saying, yeah, this is the book. There is no doubt in it. Yeah, there is absolutely no doubt in it. The he refers back to the kitab because it's masculine, singular. El kitabu. Yeah. Really nice question though. How do you memorize new vocabulary? So I'll give you an answer inshallah here, but if you want like a full, better, big answer, go back to last Sunday's video. So the Arabist Digest video, episode 3. So like the hashtag 3. Go to that one from last week, and there's like full there's full info. But what I'll tell you now is that your brain wants to remember things with contexts. I was always taught that for a word to be in your long-term memory, you need to see it in at least 6 contexts. So it's very unhelpful to memorize just cold lists of words, because in your brain, even though you have an English meaning associated with them, your brain really isn't motivated to learn that. You need to think of a context in your head when you would actually learn it, and when you would actually use it in your real life and create a sentence around it. So, I don't know, if we were doing the word for a mug or something, the word korb, think about when you would actually talk to an Arabic speaking person using that word. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and create that Arabic sentence, right? And that's kind of a much better way to do it, because as well, the objective, when you get more advanced in Arabic as well, in your head, you're not going to start thinking, okay, baytun, a house, and then a house. You're just going to think baytun, and then the concept in your head of a house. You don't want to go through English to get back to it anyway. So it's unhelpful. I don't know why we look at vocab lists just with the Arabic and then the English next to it. Really, we want the Arabic, and then link the Arabic to the context that you know in your head, and have a motivation for wanting to learn it. That's kind of the quick answer, for learning vocab. There was another question about my English vocab, which seems strange. Yeah, there's 2 questions. One about my English. No, I don't really read much. I don't really read. I like words and I like language and stuff, but no. I should do more, to be honest. I should read more, and I should be learning new English words more, definitely, as well. But there's a question about what does bedel mean. Bedel. And bedel is usually to do with replacing or swapping things or being in place of something. In fact, there's an ayah in Surah Al-Kahf, which is, or part of it is, لا مبدل لكلماته. The la mubaddila, that's an example of la an-nafi lil-jins. There is no mubaddila. There is no one who can kind of replace kalimati, the words of it. It's talking about the Quran. There's no one who can replace and change the words of the Quran. So badil is often used when you're talking it when you're doing i'rab, when you're explaining why grammar is a certain way or why a word is expressed in a certain way, and you can say that I don't know, there might be I don't know, there are certain kinds of words, for example, that won't ever take tanween dhamma. It would express them with two kasras or something, and you'd say something like kasratain badalan min tanween dhamma or something, or dhammatain or something like that. Yeah, use that sometimes. That's a really funky bit of grammar though. Like if you do, I don't know what the context is. I think it's a sister who asked. I can't see the comments now. I think it was a sister who asked. I don't know what the context is. Why what you're asking it for, but the term in general is to do with like I think like just swapping stuff or things being in place of something. But then yeah, the word mubaddil came to my head as well as being like a person who can swap things over. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what it means. But it's but that term you know I know it most as like an i'rab term because you use it when you're explaining why case endings are a certain way or why a word expresses its case ending in a certain way. Hope that helps. What else have we got? We've got a couple of minutes till we need to call it a day. Barakallahu feek. Barakallahu feek. Yeah, I've just seen S Ali again. Sorry, man. I don't know if it's a sister or a brother, but yeah, it's a battle when you have kids. I know it's hard, especially if you're a mother, as well. I know, but the fact is yeah, but the fact is yeah, it's not about doing a lot. It's about just doing it regularly. Having a way of learning Arabic regularly, which I give you for free on my channel. Come by every day. I'll have something for you, inshallah. Should you learn the singular and the plural of the word together when memorizing vocabulary? Nice. Yes, I absolutely encourage that. Especially for the broken plurals, which is why, for those of you who are on my program, you'll know that when I write the books, when I write the vocab lists, for every single noun, you will have the singular and the plural in brackets next to it. And for every single verb, even, you'll have the past tense, the present tense, and the noun with it as well. So people, because I don't know, like nouns really, like broken plurals are things that you just kind of get accustomed to hearing. Like there are rules for what pattern to put certain nouns in. Like you know, we know that words like qalam become aqlam, qamar becomes aqmar. So like fa'alun becomes af'alun. Like we know that there are patterns like that, but no one's thinking like that when they're using Arabic. No one's thinking. No one comes across a word. Yeah, no one comes across a word and just thinks, oh, that's the pattern. So it must go to af'alun. Do you know what I mean? People just hear feel and know it's the plural's af'al. They know that fuyul and af'ila and fuyul, they don't sound right. Do you know what I mean? Those don't sound right. It's af'al. Do you know what I mean? Like when you just hear a word a few times, like, and that's what I encourage. Like I encourage students to, and teachers as well, when they write their vocab lists, I encourage teachers to give the singular and the plural together. I even do it at the expense of some grammar. You know, I even do it like, there are plurals that are what we call mamnu' min as-sarf, which broadly speaking, this is a very sort of simplified version of it, but broadly speaking, it means that they can't take tanween and they can't take kasra. So for example, in my lesson 1, I think, I have the word dhakiyun and the plural adhkiya'u. Adhkiya'u, the fact that it can't take tanween is quite a complicated bit of grammar, actually. Like the concept of something being mamnu' min as-sarf is actually quite a sophisticated bit of grammar. But even at the expense of that, I put it in, just so students can hear it. If a student doesn't understand the rules of mamnu' min as-sarf yet, I'm not going to penalise them if they say, rijalun adhkiya'un. It's wrong. It should just be rijalun adhkiya'u. It's wrong, but I'm not going to penalise them for it. Do you know what I mean? I'll be happy they got the plural right. Do you know what I mean? When they get through the course of I and stuff like that, I'll probably tell them depending on their level. But yeah. But yeah. In answer to that question, yeah, I absolutely encourage that, especially for broken plurals. For sound plurals, I don't think you. Yeah, it's probably good. It's probably good. Don't even hear of sound plurals. Sound plurals are obviously predictable, aren't they? If you have a word like Muslim, mu'min, mudarris, stuff like that, they're all just mudarrisuna, mu'minuna, muslimuna, or ina, depending on the case. What else do we got? What, like the yeah, the comments disappear for some reason. When I start talking, the comments disappear, so I need to go back and scroll through them. Yeah. Cool. That's fine. I don't know if that's a question to me about the next step after the Medina books. Wa alaikum salam. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I don't know what the next step is. Don't know. The thing is the Medina books, they prepare Tullab al-ilm for like serious ilm. Do you know what I mean? Like they prepare students to go into the Jami'ah. Like they prepare students of Islamic knowledge to go and start sitting at the feet of some of the greatest teachers of the Sharia, of Lugha, of Hadith, of Quran, in the world. And all of their studies are in Arabic as well. So yeah, so after the Medina books, the step is to get into seeking real knowledge. We should know as well. Like I don't know. I think a lot of the time people get hold of the Medina books, they sort of study them on their own. That's interesting. Yeah, thank you so much, by the way. Yeah, for saying that my Arabic videos helped you get an A star in the GCSE. That means the world to me. No way. There are teachers out there showing my videos in their classes. Very irresponsible teachers. They should be showing far more professional material than what I put out. Me sitting here in my little office, little home office, recording my videos on my phone. It's very flattering, alhamdulillah. Okay, so yeah, finish the Medina books, but don't feel like you know Arabic. That's interesting. I suppose you need to ask yourself, like, what sort of Arabic environment are you actually putting yourself in? Because really, like any curriculum, I think should be what any curriculum should be accompanied by you actually being invested in the Arab world and actually speaking it on a daily basis and actually using it on a daily basis, having demands for it on a daily basis. Oh, cool. Yeah. There are times when yeah, the GCSE exam. This is the previous curriculum. They've got a new curriculum now, but there are a few places where it seems like they try to trick you guys. One in particular, I think it might have been from that video, is that there's a text that talks about like animals in a zoo, and the answer for the question is the word usud. Um, um, is it usud? Yeah, it's usud because usud sounds like it's a word to do with Eswed, right? And the answer is like whether it's lion or black panther or something else. And the answer is the plural of lion is usud. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. Anyway, I thought that was tricking people out. There's a question here about using yani. 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 Every language has a way of like pausing in between things. In English, we just say We sort of say That's how we do it. In Spanish, they say like bueno or pues. They do that. But in Arabic, they say yani. Yani is their way of kind of saying And the reason why they do that is because the word yani means it means. Yeah, yani. It means. It literally means it means. Yani means it means. So when you're saying, I don't know, you're talking about something, and then you start your thing, you say yani, it means you're really saying like I mean this. Do you know what I mean? And then you kind of explain more. That's what it actually means. And you know, other words come from that word yani. Like you'll hear ta'ni as well. If you're talking about a fikra, an idea, or a qadiyya, a case, you say that ta'ni something else. And just the word a meaning is a ma'na. You know, if you're asking someone what does that mean, ما معنى ذلك? Well, what does that mean? ما معنى ذلك? What is the meaning of that? ما معنى ذلك? Yeah. For those of you who are interested, it is used in Somali as well. Its meaning, they say like ma'anis, ma'anisu, or something like that. Yeah. Yes, so that's what yani is. It's very useful. Afwan. Yeah, you need to know your yani. You drop it a lot. In fact, I've even known in oral exams, both at university and in the GCSE, for them to look favourably upon you if you say yani. So if you're in the oral exam, don't worry if you need to take a second to think about what you want to say next. You just say yani. Just makes you sound a bit more Arab. They do that in other languages. I know. I know when I was doing my Spanish A level as well, if I'd sort of just pause and say bueno pues, you say either bueno or pues. Okay, really nice question. Okay, we'll end on this question, inshallah, because I've been here for a little while now. So the question was, how would I recommend students going forward after the program? Obviously, it's a program that students finish in a year. Do you know what I mean? Surely Arabic isn't done in a year, right? Like, so the point of the program is to get the students to be independent in Arabic, right? So you will not need English anymore when you get to that level. You'll always come across words that you don't know. You'll always come across words and grammar that you don't know. You will always do that. But the course equips you with the skills to use an Arabic to Arabic dictionary and to be able to discover a meaning in an Arabic to Arabic world. So to ask, like, what does that mean? Say it in another way and stuff like that. So really, it's up to you in the meantime throughout the process to find out what do you actually want to learn Arabic for. Like, your Arabic shouldn't be in the books forever. Your Arabic shouldn't be in the classroom forever. Your Arabic shouldn't be in your lesson with me forever. Like, you know, however much I love you guys and however much I'd love to just be with you forever, like, you need to go out into the world and use your Arabic. So, I mean, that's what I want for my students. I don't want you to have to pay me forever. Like, I want you to finish your program and then use your money to travel or to go and do something you want to do, right? Like, you know, if you're mostly interested in reading, then I can help you with that and give you suggestions for reading lists and, you know, books you can get hold of and, you know, novels that I think will be a good level for you and stuff like that. But really, at that point, like, I distinguish a lot between, like, knowledge and skills. Like, you'll always need to be in practice. Even myself, like, I go through times where I'm out of practice. Doesn't mean I don't know Arabic, do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I don't know it, I teach it. Do you know what I mean? I'm teaching this stuff every day. But sometimes I'm just out of practice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it gets to a point where you know a certain amount, it's just about practicing then. So when you finish the 60 Steps program, I'll just encourage you to go out and practice. You know, that's what you need to do. Yes, the program can be done through a smartphone. Yes, the program can absolutely be done through a smartphone. Yeah, all of the videos are enabled on mobile. There's sometimes an issue with formatting, but if there ever is, then just let me know and I'll try to deal with that. But yeah, the answer is yes, absolutely, you can. But then some other truth to that is that the formatting on mobile might not be as clear as it is on desktop. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are very welcome. Thank you very much for joining me, on this evening, on a Sunday evening. Thank you for spending your evening. Thank you for spending your evening with me, keeping me company, so I'm not blabbering at my phone on my own. Cool. Cool. All right, guys. We'll call it a day there, inshallah. Next time you will see me is either when you join the program, you'll hear from me. Yeah, for those of you who would like to join, alhamdulillah, I'd love it if all of you guys are saying that you want to join, do actually join. I'll email you as soon as I can to get in touch with you guys if you do join. The way is to go to arabicwithsam.com and then you find your way from there. Or just go arabicwithsam.com/60, just 60. Don't write out the word SIX, blah, blah, blah. arabicwithsam.com/60. Yeah, and that's how you find out the page with all the information on it and everything like that if you want to join, inshallah. And I'd love to have you all on board. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. And yeah, but the next thing that I'll do for you, if you don't join for any reason, which is fine too, then the next thing you'll hear from me is tomorrow in the podcast. Tomorrow, the podcast should be live at about 5 on all the platforms. It'll be here on YouTube as well. So if you just subscribed on YouTube, then that's fine too. Yeah, so the podcast will be the next thing out tomorrow. Hope you guys are looking forward to it as much as I am. And I'll see you guys then. Good night, guys. Have a really nice rest of your evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.